To order and welcome everybody to the Greenwood Parks Board meeting for July 2nd, 2024. First on the agenda is the approval of the June 18th, 2024 meeting minutes. Members should have received a copy. Are there any additions or corrections? Hearing none, I need a motion to approve.
So moved.
I'll second that.
Moved by Mr. Dietrich and seconded by Mr. Probst. All those in favor, Mr. Dietrich.
Aye.
Mr. Probst.
Aye.
I am an aye also. Motion carries. Next on the agenda is the attorney's report. City Attorney Terry is here.
Yep. First item for your consideration is an addendum to the use agreement that I believe you've already entered into with David Bengelbaum for the Making Memories pickleball tournament. This addendum allows for the request is for a storage container to be placed there for the duration of their tournament.
I see a couple other things on here, Rob.
It looked like I can't remember the first one, if there were some food vendors as well, some beer and wine vendor requests. They're also requesting live band play, same 2 hour, at the August 16th as well.
So that, just to clarify, those items were, the only reason I had the addendum as a storage container is the food vendor, all those items were contained into the initial agreement.
Okay.
The storage container was an additional request. What it would do is, because it's a 3-day event, to make the more enjoyable, make it a better event, and make it more efficient, they want to store a lot of tables and chairs and a lot of kind of the event setup stuff in that storage container for the 3-day duration.
And you don't have an issue with a storage
The
container?
only thing I'm going to do is we'll dictate the spot, and then we'll obviously document the spot pre-unloading of the storage container, and then we'll make sure that the spot isn't damaged once it's taken out as well.
And the storage container is going to be secured and locked down?
It'll be like those typical storage containers you see. They're pretty much slide-off units onto the truck, and they slide onto them. It'll probably occupy one space in the parking lot.
Questions, comments? Hearing none, I need a motion to approve this.
So moved.
Second.
Been moved by Mr. Probst, seconded by Mr. Dietrich. All those in favor, Mr. Probst.
Aye.
Mr. Dietrich.
Aye.
And I also. Motion carries.
There was another addendum to agreement we've already approved for the South Indeed Football League for Chris Ryan. This user to allow for change in dates and also to allow for food truck at the activity.
All right, if you guys have questions, be happy to answer.
I mean, they're just adding the food truck, right?
And changing the dates.
And changing the dates.
Yep. Summerfield, the following dates from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. September 28th, October 5th, October 19th, and October 26th.
Any questions or comments? Hearing none, I need a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Probst, seconded by Mr. Dietrich. All those in favor, Mr. Probst.
Aye.
Mr. Dietrich.
Aye.
And I also.
Next item is an independent contractor agreement with Barbara Holzer to provide arts and crafts classes at the Greenwood Fieldhouse on various dates from 7 to 8 p.m.
Typical contractor services for instructor will be 70/30 split on the net revenue.
Is this something new?
Well, it's not a new program, it's a new
contract?
instructor that's taken over an art program. So it's very typical art instructor agreement is a 70/30 split.
Any other questions or comments?
Which facility would that be conducted at? Community center?
Fieldhouse.
Fieldhouse, okay.
Sorry. Yep.
Anything else? Hearing none, I need a motion to approve this.
So moved.
I'll second it.
Moved by Mr. Dietrich, seconded by Mr. Kroos. All those in favor, Mr. Dietrich,
Aye.
Mr. Kroos.
Aye.
I'm an aye also.
Next item is consideration of professional services agreement with Hitchcock Design Group to, with respect to landscape architectural services at Freedom Park Master Plan. And those services are outlined in the exhibit attached to the service agreement. As you go through.
As we've been kind of talking about for better part of a year now, Freedom Park is long overdue with some needed focus and attention with regard to master planning. The original master plan for Freedom Park was done in 2007, and it was conceptually was done. It was before all of the utilities were out there. It had a pool on the north end of the sledding hill. It had ball diamonds out there. It was a good vision for a community park. Since the 07 master plan was done by Schmidt and Associates, the park has changed. Meaning a lot of the infrastructure has remained somewhat intact with regards to the loop trail. Some of the stormwater infrastructure is there for the internal road. But since then, the pool has changed locations, and a lot of the uses have been put in place where it wasn't intended in the original 07, i.e., pickleball complex, of course, the pool, which the pool was never there to begin with 07 as well. So, with that said, to avoid future potentials of conflicts and a mishmash design of Freedom Park going forward, we certainly need to start considering how that master plan document of Freedom Park, how we want that Freedom Park to get completed and finish out from an infrastructure standpoint and from a land use and recreational standpoint. So with all that said, I have interviewed design group Hitchcock Design for the services of master planning Freedom Park. So as you can see, their deliverables would be a digital master plan copy, an implementation strategy report, meeting notes, analysis, a lot of stakeholder meetings in that, and also have a community meeting in that as well to discuss the master plan and to obtain input on that also. Service for this engagement is $36,000 for a fixed fee. I did ask for some design contingencies, basically for the intention of once we get stakeholder input, we also get community input, there obviously might be some additional time that may be needed to ratify the original intent of the master plan that they came up with. So I'd ask for board consideration, or I'd be happy to answer any questions with regards to Hitchcock Design Group's proposal for Freedom Park master plan at $36,000 with a not to exceed design contingency of $54,000.
So they're going to draw up a plan
Correct.
the way they see it, or they're gonna take your input over the course of this?
Yep.
And how long does this take?
So that'll all be part of that. We'll get a schedule together, once we talk within that. But I would anticipate having some deliverable by the end of the year.
Yeah, that's pretty fast.
It is pretty fast. Yeah.
Any other questions or comments?
I think it's a great idea. So good luck with that. Have at
Appreciate
it.
it.
Anything else? Hearing none, I need a motion to approve.
So moved.
I'll second that.
Moved by Mr. Dietrich, seconded by Mr. Kroos. All those in favor, Mr. Dietrich,
Aye.
Mr. Kroos.
Aye.
I'm an aye also. Motion passed. Next on the list.
I'm sorry, I didn't get an updated agenda. This is next on the list, the.
Next on the list is a
Enders.
Indus Hauser pickleball tournament.
Yep, Andrews House Pickleball Tournament for July 25th, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. for an Elevate the fundraising.
We are pickleball crazy here in Greenwood.
Are we?
We are.
All right.
It's great. So Andrews Hauser has a group of very active, engaged interns, which I met this week. I expected to only meet maybe one or two, and they came in a gaggle of like, I don't know, 10 of you?
Yeah.
And they overwhelmed me. It was a good meeting. They have a really good initiative of wanting to put together a pickleball tournament. As from a Andrews Hauser standpoint, and use the tournament as a conduit to connect to the community. And they're going to use the money to give some sort of initiative for higher education. Is that right?
For the Indianapolis, so it's a program that helps IPS and inner city schools like help students to college. So yeah.
Great. So as an initiative, due to the intern's very short window of time frame of which they are interns, they don't have to back to school. It's a fast turnaround. We're asking for your consideration. So this is at Craig Park, pickleball courts there, 7 courts there, July 25th at 6 p.m. They would like to have a pickleball tournament there. It's your event notifications as well. And it would last for 3 hours on that day. And what they would like for you to consider is Andrews Hauser is a current sponsor as a corporation of the Field House. Okay, within that sponsorship agreement, there is an impressionable incentive in there, one complimentary company buyout annually of any individual amenity for up to 4 hours, i.e. be the courts, turf field, auxiliary turf field, or golf simulators, date and time to be mutually agreed upon. So that's within the matrix that you guys have already approved. What Andrews Hauser has asked me to consider for your consideration is to, if you would consider using that one complimentary company buyout to be pivot for the pickleball courts. I said I would present it to you guys for that. I just got that email, so Terry, I'm not trying to give you a curveball as well. So that is for your consideration as well, in lieu of the rental. I did do the math, and it is a wash based off of what they would get for the company buyout for one of those courts and facilities within the field house in exchange for the pickleball complex for that 3 hour period of time. It is a wash.
I don't have a problem with it.
I am so pro.
Terry,
I can do it. I can have to just
do that?
Yeah, just motion to the contract that we draft the contract.
Yeah, it'll be with language within the contract.
Okay, and you're here representing Andrews Hauser.
Yeah, I'm the legal intern, third-year law student.
Would you
so-
state your name for us, please?
Mohammed Todd.
Good to
Nice
see
meet
you.
all you guys and thank you.
Any other questions or comments?
Sounds like a win to me.
Anything else? Hearing none, I need a motion to approve this.
So moved.
I'll second that.
Moved by Mr. Dietrich, second by Mr. Probst. All those in favor, Mr. Dietrich,
Aye.
Mr. Probst.
Aye.
And I also, motion carries.
Next item is the Asby construction for temporary crossing removal. 20,500.
So we currently, we have a temporary construction entrance into the field house. Wrong project, sports bar, I apologize. Basically what it was a large old railroad car with the ends cut off of it. And so we need to now remove that. The construction access is done. We have a permanent access now. I am looking at, we own the pipe. The city owns that pipe. This contractor is going to remove it and relocate it off site, and then when we need it, and then regrade the site and put it back to equal for anything north of that. So he'll grade it out and match everything, the grade of the ditch, everything north of that as well. And all that will get taken care of. that the 28,500 is to remove the pipe, load it, and take it off site. And then also cut the pipe. It's a 60-foot pipe into 30 feet for future reuse into another location that we are.
And they're gonna move all the debris and regrade, and
Correct.
make the ditch pretty.
100%.
I thought we addressed this when we addressed putting the bridge in over there. Maybe we did. Just sounds so familiar.
It may have sounded familiar because it was always part of the plan of this. We
just-
initially were going to try to use temporary crossing as a sole pedestrian crossing. We did run the stormwater calculations, and county will not allow it because of the flood data. It's too restrictive.
That's what it was.
So we've got to take it out.
Sounds like it's moving done.
Any questions or comments? Hearing none, I need a motion to approve this
So moved.
Second.
by Mr. Probst, seconded by Mr. Dietrich. All those in favor, Mr. Probst.
Aye.
Mr. Dietrich.
Aye.
And I also. For the attorney's report. Terry? Next on the agenda is resolution number 24-05, non-peak program room at the field house and Nerf on the turf birthday packages.
Yep, so the turf field house is still evolving as we still progress. One of the evolutions of the field house is determining how to monetize its off-peak rental rooms. So for your consideration, program room, which has 109 occupancy capacity, we want to change those rates as it's reflected. For member Monday through Friday, 8 to 3 to $60 per hour. Non-member Monday through Friday, 8 to 3, $80 per hour. And then the rental room with 37 occupancy capacity. Member rate Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 3, $50 per hour. Non-member Monday through Friday, 8 to 3, $70 per hour. And then also the field house staff in the rec would like a package offering offered Nerf on the turf. So we would basically, the package would include the main turf field and would also include tables and chairs, 12 Nerf blasters, Nerf darts, Nerf inflatables, eye protection, 2 flags, 24 jerseys. Basically what this is we're going to create a birthday package which has the Nerf guns with them. A lot of the younger kids like to go and play games and capture the flag. We've learned this based off of a lot of feedback we've gotten from renters, and we think this would be a really fun package and very well used and a great use of space. And we've got rental space available at $400. So that.
Sounds fun. Wish I could do it. Any other questions or comments?
No.
So Rob, I have a question for you. When you're figuring out these hourly rates, how do you do that? You look at other event spaces around,
All that. So we look at our current rate where it's at now for like a regular birthday party, and we look at other specialized packages that other municipalities may want to do. We do our research. We do our due diligence based on our own rates, and we do our due diligence based off what other municipalities are doing as well. Okay. Or what other private businesses are doing.
right, that was,
They don't necessarily have to be municipalities.
great. So Terry, I'll need a motion for this, right, to approve these rates? Any other questions or comments on this? Hearing none, I need a motion to approve resolution number 24-5, the non-peak program room at the field house and Nerf on the turf birthday packages.
So moved.
I'll second that.
Moved by Mr. Dietrich, seconded by Mr. Probst. All those in favor, Mr. Dietrich?
Aye.
Mr. Probst?
Aye.
I'm an aye also, motion carries. Greenwood Parks Foundation report.
Got any questions? We'll respect if you have any questions regarding foundation. Be happy
How's the fundraising going? for
It's
that?
good. I know Heather's heavily engaged in it, along with the president as well. I know they're doing really well on doing the first bingo again. I think it's in November, September. And buying lots of purses. We have the space for, Moose Lodge that's been rented out. And they did it last year. It was a great success.
Yeah, it was packed.
Yeah.
You couldn't even get in the parking lot.
So if any of you guys need some handbags, buy get your tickets.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll see my wife there.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a good event. It's a good fundraiser. It's a good foundation.
Any other questions or comments for Rob on that? Next on the list is the controller's report. I think our controller is on vacation.
I believe you guys have the report.
Members should have received a copy of that. Any questions on that report? Comments? Move on. Aquatics report. I believe Brooke is here.
Hi.
Hi.
All right, things are going really smooth, really. I mean, we've been busy, so we've kind of been hit the ground running. We've been kind of moving and up on our feet a lot. So I do apologize for my tardiness. There was just a lot going on at the pool, so I kind of got sidetracked a little bit. But programs are going really well. We just started our third session of group swim lessons this week. So on Monday, yesterday was our first day for that session. The lifeguards are doing a really good job on instructing their classes, so that's going very smooth. All of our one-on-one lessons have been contacted, and they're starting to get their schedule with their private swim lesson instructors. And scuba is just going smooth. Paul does a really good job with the scuba guys. Our first adult night went off without a hitch. Specific things went really smooth. Guards did a really good job. Missions, second sessions, the sessions was not there, but the missions did a good job on kind of getting everybody in, being squared away. It seemed like it was a pretty calm night. And then our first family fun night went off with no problem at all. So it was good on that. So programs and our events are kicking off and we're pushing through it. So
Looks like your revenue's way up.
we've been really busy. The
You've
heat
been
has definitely
really
helped
busy.
with that for sure. It's been hot. So with that, just with the heat alone, it's kind of picked up a little bit. Other than that first week that we were first open and the weather was just kind of crummy from there, but it's been hot and just like a normal summer, so we've been busy, so that's definitely helped.
Heard a lot of good comments about the adult night and heard that you've had quite a few swim lessons. Is that quite a few kids taking swim lessons, is
Yes,
that
we've
correct?
had quite a bit.
That's pretty nice.
Yeah, so and then this year I've noticed that we've had like our one-on-one, we've had an increase in adult lessons, which is awesome.
Really?
So they're utilizing that as well. I've taught a couple of them as well. And I've noticed an increase on that, so it's been awesome to see that people other than kids are kind of using those programs to kind of really focus in on water safety, so it's awesome.
That is great.
Yeah.
That's great. Any other questions for Brooke?
I'll add too, that we did a community survey at the end of last year at the pool, and the facility and operations and Brooke have done an absolutely fantastic job of taking that feedback, not in a negative way, but in a positive way, and implementing it into the pool, into the operations. And you can really see a difference this year on how that place is operating. And the feedback that we're getting as well, that you can tell that we've listened to the community and we're implementing it as well. So they're doing a really good job.
That's nice. How are your concessions working out?
So yeah, what you're alluding to is we did split the concessions away from the Fruit Springs operations, and we're operating that independently with keeping in mind the future of the sports park coming on board. It's going really well. I mean,
Yeah.
optically, from what I can see from my office, but I think also that the separation from Fruit Springs, and they may be separated, but let's admit, we're all one big team, right?
Yeah.
So, but I think we have the right person in the right place. And I think it's going to pay dividends when the sports park comes on. I think you're really going to start to see it start to churn.
I think you're absolutely right. I think it was a good move on separating that out.
Yeah.
More manageable.
I think Lexi's done a really good job.
I agree.
with all that kind of stuff, so she's got a lot done on that. Her supervisors are doing a really good job in helping her out as well, so. And at the end of the night, we all just kind of come together, get the facility clean, so we all can work together to make that happen, so we can get out at a decent hour. But yeah, she's done a really good job.
Good. Thank you.
Well done.
Thank you.
Next up is the parks report. I believe you received a copy of my report, or I hope you did. Have any questions, be more than happy to answer. Parks are looking great. That's all I can say. I will pass it on to staff. Absolutely beautiful. Great staff this year, so, yeah, yeah. Anything else for Jim? Trails.
Not a lot to report on trails. I think we are getting close to getting the environmental permits I need for lack of a better term, the AES trail. So
Yeah.
I think I'm getting really close on that. Once that happens, then it's time to start tightening up the construction documents and putting that project out to bid. So that's gonna be another one we're gonna have to.
I mean, it's coming, right? It has been a process.
Yeah, so it's close.
Yeah.
It's close.
Good.
I'll probably have something out to bid by the end of this year. That's my guess.
I want to thank you and your team for sticking with that, man. That has been.
Yep. Yeah, it's acquisition. It's the land acquisition that takes so much time.
Yeah.
And I tell everybody that we can build a trail. If it's on city property and park property, I can build a trail anywhere.
Yeah.
But to get from point A to point B, and if there's like 15 to 18 different property owners, it's gonna take some time.
You did a good job.
Land acquisition. Yeah, the team did a good job. Yep, it's good.
Recreation report.
I have a copy of our report. We've had 3 summer concerts. We did have one rained out at the beginning of June during that crappy week of weather that we had there at the beginning. We did have an adult night, which usually our June one is our smallest one, but it was like 92 degrees that day, so we sold 800 tickets for it. So that was about double what usually the June one is. Erin's about to finish up her 5th week of summer camp. She took all the kids to Kings Island a couple weeks ago. They really enjoyed that. So we have 3 weeks of camp left after tomorrow. Before and after school, we expanded our numbers for that for the 24-25 school year. And I think there's like maybe 5 or 10 spots left for that. So people always wait till the last minute. So that program will fill up, even adding about 25 more spots to it. So.
I'm always amazed at the number of programs that you have. I mean, it just keeps getting bigger and bigger, and people keep responding
Archery,
Very
boxing ball, lacrosse.
positive way.
Wait till this time next year.
Yeah. Sports park, sports park.
I don't know how you're handling all that.
We got a budget. We got a budget meeting in a couple days. So.
That's a lot. That seems like an awful lot for one guy. But you did a
There's,
great job.
there's 4 of us. So yeah. Total team effort.
Yeah, good, good. Well, you're doing a great job.
Appreciate it.
And just so you know, the community loves you.
Yeah.
They do. I hear a lot of good things about you. Thank you. Field house report.
Believe you have a report. I'm happy to attempt to answer any questions that you may have.
Questions or comments for that? Community center report.
Believe you have a report. I will attempt to answer any questions.
Membership was pretty good when it's up, quite a bit.
Yeah.
All these numbers are up. It's a community that's engaged right there.
Well, I think we've had, I believe, if I'm actually right, I think from this time last year, we've had a 30% increase in gym memberships.
Yeah, that's incredible.
It is.
It is. That's a community on the move. People are getting out, having fun. It's awesome. Other business from the public? Other business from this park board?
I got
I was just gonna say a word or two. First of all, thank you, Rob, for representing us in your presentation of the Making Memories Classic. And I will say, I'm hearing all these things, but I'm thinking about it myself, is the incredible progress the Parks Department has made just from 2 years ago when we first had our first tournament at Craig Park to now. It's been like night and day. And the growth and the collaboration and the cooperation and stuff is just incredible, and it's very rewarding. It's very gratifying, and I can tell you, as you've all been saying, the community is very much engaged and very appreciative. So I just wanted to say that. One quick thing I just want to throw out, and it just came into my head, and it's probably for some other time to think about, but I want to at least maybe toss it out for thought. Rob said earlier, we're pickleball crazy here in Greenwood, which now the whole country is pickleball crazy. And, you know, you approved a small tournament at Craig Park for Enders Hauser. We're gonna have a big tournament. The Parks Department's having a big tournament. And one of the things that has crossed my mind is the idea that as there are more and more tournaments, there are only so many players. There are more tournaments. People came to our tournament 2 years ago from as far away as Ohio and Illinois and Kentucky and so on. Now, there are so many tournaments that if there's one 15 minutes away from your home, why would you drive to Greenwood, Indiana, no matter how nice the Parks Department is? So I think that we're getting to a point, or going to get to a point, where there's going to be sort of saturation in these tournaments, and if they happen every other week, one in July in the parks, one in Freedom from the Parks Department, one in July from Enders Hauser at Craig, one in August from our tournament, you know, from Making Memories, that raises money for the Alzheimer's Association. I just wonder if there shouldn't be some discussion or consideration given to sort of collaborating, if that's possible, and having a big community tournament that ends up raising money for anybody who's involved. So how do we, you know, how does the Parks Department become a winner in this? How does the Alzheimer's Association become a winner? I think there's an opportunity there, and I think without that, we might actually be fighting each other in years to come, when you've got Drew Brees building pickleball facilities, and you've got professional pickleball players and all this kind of stuff. It's gonna get diluted in the not too distant future. I think it'd be wonderful for Greenwood, it would shine a positive light on Greenwood to partner. It doesn't have to be with the Alzheimer's Association, although I'm obviously representative of it as a board member, but to shine a positive light on Greenwood for partnering with maybe a not-for-profit that, I don't know what the negative would be for the city of Greenwood to be in partnership, helping an organization like that, but also helping the Parks Department. I think if Rob has a tournament of 200 players and I have a tournament of 200 players, maybe we have a tournament of 400 players and somehow make it a win-win. Just food for thought. I'm just throwing it out because I'm involved in the pickleball community and I kind of see what direction it seems to be headed.
Thank you, Dave, for bringing that up. Anything else?
I'd like to have a minute and make sure we acknowledge the parks maintenance, the recreation department, police, and fire. This was a very challenging Fruit Fest we just had. That storm that came in, it hit exactly at like 4:15, would not have been the worst possible time for our Fruit Fest. It ended up canceling our parade, but all of the divisions within the Parks Department and in collaboration with the police and fire, we quickly turned it around and had quite possibly the most attended Fruit Fest that we've ever had. It's kind of all inspiring to see how the divisions of the Parks Department and then collaborate with departments in the city. It just shows what we can do. We're all working together and have one kind of goal in mind. So it's a big task. It was very challenging, but a lot of kudos goes out to all those Parks divisions, Parks and Rec divisions, and then also the police and fire for their collaboration as things turn around. That's good.
I'm gonna have to agree with you on that, Rob. Social media was a huge part of that. You guys were rocking social media. So was the police department and everybody else. And the cross traffic I saw from commenting on that was incredible, because everybody was asking, what about the fireworks? What about the festival?
Yeah.
And you guys are just pumping them out.
And
one
that's
after the
that
other. Great.
collaboration, right? That's division within the Parks Department, the marketing.
Yeah.
And she did a great job.
She did.
She took it upon herself. She got the message out, what's going on, informed people. As soon as that rain ended, the skies cleared. You could see the people coming in.
Yeah.
It was hordes of them. And it just absolutely filled that event on.
I'm about 1,000 yards away from that, and I watched it happen, just one after the other, after the other, and they were coming in waves.
Yeah.
It was pretty impressive. It was.
We were all in a meeting room. We were all soaked, sweaty. Nobody was in a good mood, including myself. But I mean, we knocked it out. We all knew our role. We knew what we had to do. We knew what we had to get taken care of. And within like 30 minutes, everything got turned around. Everybody got on the right track, and the ship was right again. It was incredible.
It was. Great job.
Yep.
Great job.
Well, I've been around quite a few years, and this group of people are the absolute best we've ever had. Starting with you, Rob, on down to every single person. I don't care who it is.
We got a good mix, right? We got a lot of diversity, a lot of skill sets. I think we got a lot of people in the right places doing really, really good things, right? So it's fun to be a part of.
Yeah. I'm happy to be a part of it, what little I do, but it's just a great group of people.
Anything else? There's nothing else to come before this board. The claims have all been signed, and we stand adjourned.